Hey everyone, my name is Robin Solonenko and I'm your Access 365 database instructor. And this is a video from my Access Expert course. If network speed is an issue, then you may want to preload the forms and hide them from your users so they're ready to go when needed. In this short video, we will show you how to do just that, all while keeping your speed of your database where it needs to be so users are not waiting for forms to load. Don't forget to check out the entire Access Expert course, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome back everyone to this topic where we discuss loading and hiding forms or making forms hidden. And you may ask, well, why would we do that? Well, there's actually two reasons. So if you remember earlier when we did I think it was the officers and we went to search cars, we made this modal and pop-up, and we did that with an intention with the intention that we want users to finish what they're doing on car inventory before they go back to the other one. Okay, well, there is another method, and that is out of sight, out of mind. And that, what I mean by that is we could, one way we could handle this is when you click on search cars, we can open it up like a regular form, but we hide the officer one so they can't click on it on the tabs up here. So that is one reason. The other reason to hide some forms is for loading. Because again, if your network has a tendency to be a little slow, it might be easier to open some of the more popular ones immediately and then just hide them and then unhide them when they need to be accessed. Because remember, every time you double click on one of these forms, queries, reports on the left side of your screen here in the navigation pane, it has to execute and run to the database. Now remember, the tables are within this database, but if you're doing that splitting situation, it has to run around or run over the network, get the form and the table and the data and bring it back. This way here, you can kind of do it maybe on the loading process, which is another reason why you may want that a splash screen also to kind of hide what you're actually doing in the background. So that's kind of why we're doing this. Let's actually now do it. So just come back into our database. We're sitting here on the main menu, don't have any other forms open. So what we want to do is when this form opens, we want the officer's form to open, but to stay hidden. That way here, when we click on this button, it doesn't have to actually execute and run it. It's going to already be there. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, let's go into the design of the main menu. And we're on the properties of the main menu form. And you're going to go to the event onload ... code builder. And the very first thing you want it to do when it loads is you're going to say do cmd .open form. You've been here before, and in brackets and quotes it's going to be the name of the officer form, which is FRM space or underscore officer. So however you spelt it, double quote ending brackets. Now before we hide it, I just want to see this work first. So I'm going to close out VBA. I'm going to close the main menu and save it. When I open up the main menu, it opens the officer form. You can see it's open now in the background right there. Okay, so we know that part's working. So back in design view of the main menu, on the onload event procedure ... we're now going to add after that another line in square bracket, forms, square bracket, exclamation mark, square, and again, FRM officer, square bracket, dot visible equals false. Okay, so now it'll make it invisible or just hide it. Doesn't close it, it's already sitting there. So as soon as I switch this back to form view, look at that, it's closed. So we'll close this out again, save changes, open main menu, and now you don't even notice it open, but it did open it, it just hid it right away. Okay, so now what will trigger that to be visible? Well, design view, it's this button here. It's the officer's button. So if you click on the officer's button, click on that event tab on click, it should be, I believe, opening the officer's form. So if you click on the ... sure enough, it's opening form officer. Well, we don't need to open it. So I'm going to close out of this macro here. I'm going to delete this embedded macro because I want to do a VBA ... code builder. Okay. And it's going to be what? Basically, I'm going to copy this so I don't have to retype it all, paste it, and I'm just going to change it to true. Just make it visible. Close, save, preview it, form view. So now when I click on officers, boom, officer form is now visible. Well, why don't we, when we do that, why don't we close out the main form? So close out officer, back in design view here, of the main menu, activate that officer button, on click, event procedure, ... And I'm just going to add, basically, I'm going to, again, copy and paste, just saves time on typing and less spelling mistakes. It's not form officer. What did we call it? It's MPD main menu visible. So when the whoops, see, I missed a square bracket. So when the form officer, here we go. When form officer is visible, the main menu is now invisible or hidden. Okay, let's give that a try. Save it, form view. So when I click that, this will disappear and the officers will appear. Boom. Look at that. Nice and sweet, nice and tight. Now, well, what do we have to do here? When we close this one, we have to say, hide this one and unhide the other one. So in design view of the officers, activate that close button, a little red X. It's embedded macro. We now delete on the event tab on click, ... code builder. And now we do the same all over again, which I still have in memory, so I can just paste it. Whoops. Make sure you paste the correct spelling. Okay, so form officer visible false, and the MPD main menu visible true. So when they click on that X button there, it will hide the form and unhide the other one. Let's give it a try. Close it out. We'll close out officer. We'll start from scratch. Open up MPD main. And now click on officers and boom, look at that, opens that up, closes out the main menu. So there's no fear of users going back in there and opening another form or reports. It keeps this clean, and this way here, if you want to control the order in which things are done, this is beautiful. And I click close, closes that, opens up. So it's just a toggle now, you see. So the forms are sitting open, but they're just not being displayed, or they're hidden value. The visibility is hidden. So if you wanted to go back to that splash screen, what you could do in the splash screen, even though ours is not doing anything, but in the onload of the splash screen, you can do VBA code and open a bunch of these forms that are popular and then hide them. And then, you do that delay, whatever it is, it's still 8 seconds, 5 seconds. So you're already not lying. You're now actually loading stuff and hiding them. And this way here, the user doesn't know that. And it just happens to be faster. So nice feature. Be careful, because at the end of the day, the more forms you have sitting here or objects, they are taking up memory. That is the only drawback to this. But again, most of our computers are pretty good on memory today, so it shouldn't be much of an issue. But if there is any drawbacks to that, that is what it is. Okay, so that's it for hiding forms. We'll see you in the next topic, where we looked at compacting and repairing. See you on the other side.